the hills of Nagaland, where the land has always fed its people, one young farmer named Thunglamo Homtsoi is reimagining what it means to grow. No soil, no seasons, just water, light, and belief. Thunglamo Homtsoi is a young entrepreneur from Mocha district, transformed his passion for agriculture into a thriving business. After earning BSc in Agriculture and MSc in Soil Science from Allahabad Agriculture University, he was inspired by digital platforms like YouTube to venture into hydroponics. This led to the creation of Urban Grower, a hydroponic farming initiative headquartered in Woka. Thunglamo Homtsoi built the farm himself, piece by piece, pipe by pipe. And somewhere between the failures and the first harvest, it became something larger than a farm. It became proof that a young person from Woka could grow something the rest of the world had barely heard of.
My name is Thunglamo Homtsoi, proprietor of Urban Grower and director of DM Hydrocultiva Solution Private Limited. So I did my academic in Allahabad University. So in bachelor's, I took as a bachelor's in agriculture and master's in agriculture soil science. This Urban Grower, I started way back in 2019. It was not successful at first, I should say. So it was based on trial and error basis. And way back in 2019, this hydroponic was quite new. No one knew about this hydroponic when it comes to Nagaland. And to source all these materials, it was quite different because I did not have any proper trainings. I learned through through internet, through YouTubes and everything. So at first, to build one system also, it was very complicated. I didn't know about the water ratio and the timer and even about the nutrients. So at first I thought these nutrients are they just use NPK, but it was more than NPK. So through trial and error, and it took me some years to come up to here. And till now, I'm still learning because there is nothing such as I've done my part. So each day I'm learning new things. So of course, there are some hardships I have faced regarding about these financial issues because to start up this kind of hydroponic, it's not easy. And it's not only about the financial, but we need to have a proper knowledge when it comes to agriculture and a bit of a chemistry also. And this hydroponic, it's based on calculation. Everything is precise and everything runs through numbers. So I had a really rough time and rough days to get to know all these the formulas and all those calculations to be precise. We deal in two companies, that is the Urban Grower, which we mostly deal with the leafy greens only, and the DM Hydrocultiva we usually deals with this constellation, and as of now we have successfully built around 12 units in Futsaro, 12 units that is hydroponic unit, and even in Kohima, even in Dimapur, Mokokchung, in Woka, KVK, and the last project was we did build one unit in Topima, that is I think one eco park. So we built that one. So what I'm trying to emphasize is I want this hydroponic to be a common farming method within Nagaland because after all we are searching for a quality food, and those quality food we hardly get. Suppose we get all those leafy greens during the season only. But when it comes to hydroponic, if it was made possible and if it was made available, then I think the abundance of these leafy greens wouldn't be a problem when it comes to consumers. So apart from that, we are trying to create more awareness, and we are trying to, apart from farming, we are trying to encourage all those youths and all those agripreneurs to start all these farming method and to encourage them. And apart from that, we are supporting all those farmers, and we are giving all those required inputs such as seeds, nutrients, even all those net pots and everything we are providing to those hobby growers, hobby hydroponic growers.
There is no plow here, no ox, no memory of seasons. What you are looking at is a hydroponic farm, a system where plants grow not in earth but in water. Precisely measured, carefully nourished water delivered directly to the roots of each plant every hour of every day. The rows are clean, the greens are vivid, and they grow almost impossibly twice as fast as they would in the ground, using less than a tenth of the water a traditional farm would need.
The reason why I chose this hydroponic farming is because due to this current state, current scenario, our world is slowly evolving. And with this traditional method of farming, we are getting a lashback because each year the soil quality is getting deteriorated, and because of these chemical applications such as like these herbicides, pesticides, and moreover, when it comes to quality grade in hydroponics, it's much more better as compared to this traditional farming. And apart from that, this the yield and even the growth period, it's much more better in this hydroponic. That is one, and the other one is it is a self-sustaining agriculture practice. It uses less amount of water, and even the space utilization, it's much more smaller as compared to this traditional method of farming. And since this hydroponic is under cultivated area, cultivated farming, all those quality, these greens, leafy greens, they are free of these insects. And moreover, we don't use any types of insecticides or pesticides or even these biopesticides such as neem oil. We simply use these water-soluble nutrients only to grow these freshly lettuce and other leafy greens. Just because I am in agriculture background, I found this type of farming very intriguing. So while I was studying, while I was doing my masters, I did some experiment on this one. So at first I started with this aquaponic. So this aquaponic is something like it's a soilless farming only, but we use as fish. We use fish poop as a manure for growing these plants. But I found that to be a little sophisticated and very labor intensive. So I did some more research, and after that I found this hydroponic. So that's why I did some research on this one. I did some experiment, and then after that this came to be more convenient and much more easier as compared to this aquaponics. So I chose this one. Hydroponic is a soilless farming. We don't use any soil in this farming. So hydro means water and ponic means cultivation of these vegetables. So in hydroponic, we don't use any soil. We use some media that is oasis cube just for starting the seeds. And apart from that, for fertigation, we use these minerals such as like macronutrients and some trace heavy elements. So we use those specifically hydroponic nutrients to grow these leafy greens. Right now we usually focus on these leafy greens because leafy greens mostly is a seasonal crops. So leafy greens like such as this lettuce, bok choy, Swiss chard, gale, and all and other these bok choys. So basically these types of vegetables, they are only grown during winter season. But for us in hydroponic, we can grow both on and off season. And the demand is very high during winter and as well as during summer. So this fresh salad greens. They're usually mainly used by these high-grade restaurants, cafes, and for these events, parties, and even for these gatherings. So, and these leafy greens, the taste when we compare between this traditionally grown and this hydroponic grown is quite different. So the taste is much more sweeter in hydroponic, and even the water content, it contains about 80 to 90% water content as compared to this soil grown. So apart from that, the shelf life, when we go to the market, we get those bunches of these mustard leaves or even the lettuce. Those shelf life, they can hardly sustain for maybe a day or two. But for this hydroponic, we sell along with the roots, so it stays up to at least 1 week. The application of nutrients is specifically given to the specific particular crops. So suppose like in lettuce also we give only specific nutrients to the lettuce. And if we are growing cabbages, we give specific nutrients to the cabbage. So basically, we give only the required amount of nutrients only to the particular crops. So because each crop requires different levels of nutrients and different qualities of nutrients. So that's the reason why the quality in this hydroponic is quite different. Since our farm is located in Wokha, and since it is an uphill region, our water quality is quite fresh. We use the fresh stream water, which does not require any filtration also. That is one. And since the water is really fresh and we get it through stream, there is no iron content also. And moreover, we don't use any filtration because in hydroponic, the water quality is very important. Suppose like in lowland areas such as Dimapur, those the water they come out through like duct well or like bore holes. So in those things, the iron content is very high. So for all those water, they need a specific filtration. But when it comes to like the water we get here in Wokha, it's quite fresh. So for us till now, we don't face any problem regarding about the water quality. And moreover, the pH of the water remains the neutral.
Lettuce, spinach, herbs, microgreens, crops that Wokha's restaurants and households once sourced from far away now grow right here, fresh, local, alive. Grown products are delivered to Pek, Chumukirima, Mokokchung, and Kohima, largely catering to restaurants, events, and hand out home deliveries.
Different plants need different levels of nutrients. So in this system, as you can see, like there are 8 tanks. 8 tanks means 8 independent system. So in with this 8 system, we can grow different 8 varieties of plants, because we cannot give the same level of nutrients that I give to the lettuce to that of cabbage. Right now we are using submersible water pump. So if we compare the submersible water pump and do that of centrifugal pump, this submersible pump it is cooled by itself, because it is submerged under the water. But when it comes to the reciprocal or centrifugal pump, it gets overheat. So we have to use some kind of timer that can be run maybe 4 or 5 cycles in a day. Suppose like if you want to study hydroponic, we will send you a quotation according to your budget, and then according to that, we will give you the quotation, the design, and all those blueprints according to your specification. And only after that, we will come and construct it according to your specification. So it will come all the pipes, all the grow channels, all the seeds, and which are necessary for this hydroponic system. So you'll get a complete setup. Definitely, there will always be insects or pathogens. So the most common insects we are facing is this grasshopper. Grasshopper, since we put lights at night, we are facing this grasshopper infestation and these worms, caterpillars, and the most common pathogens is these aphids. The aphids which is commonly found in this mustard family. So these all come under like mustard family. So basically these are the pathogens we are facing. So for control, we just do hand picking. So grasshopper, it can be easily hand picked, even the caterpillars. And regarding about these aphids, spider mites and all, this infestation, suppose if this particular crop is infested, the entire, like at least 2 square feet, we have to take it out. We have to eradicate completely, because we cannot use even the biopesticide such as neem oil. We cannot even use that neem oil also. So what we can do is like we do only physical eradication.
He didn't stop at building a farm. He opened its doors. Every week, a new group of young people from Mocha walks in, not knowing what hydroponics is, and walks out knowing they could do it themselves. He has trained dozens of people now. Some come from Mocha, some travel from other parts of Nagaland. A few have come from outside the state entirely, drawn by the idea that someone in a small hill town had figured something out.
In Urban Grower, we also provide these internship programs to the Nagaland University, and also we host this training program every month. So some of the trainees, they usually come from this Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya. They came all the way to Urban Grower to learn. So we usually host for 3 days training program, intensive 3 days, and we also provide fooding and lodging in the farm itself. And even for the internship, depending on the colleges, they come here. Some of them, they come and stay for a month or 2 months. Some of them, they used to come and stay for a week or 2 weeks. It's like that. So during the internship program, they get to learn a lot on this hydroponic farming. And I should say there are some students who really don't have much idea on this hydroponic. But after those internship program, they are well versed with this hydroponic. And some of my students, some of my interns, they have already started doing this as a hobby. So apart from that, they learn about this marketing also. They get to know my customer, and they get to know where I source my these inputs. And lastly, they used to get this certificate, which is really important for those interns.
In Woka, something is growing, quietly, carefully, without soil. And from it, something larger, a new idea of what young people in Nagaland can build with their own hands, their own minds, and one very stubborn belief that the future fits itself. In a hill town in Nagaland, hydroponics at its heart is an act of faith.